Dear human, dear soul, I welcome you to my podcast series, Conversations with the Universe. Since a near-death experience, I have the gift to communicate with subtle levels of the cosmos. The knowledge from these for us invisible forms of energy I capture in my books, and it is now a great pleasure for me to share this knowledge, these conversations, with you as a supplement to the books. Please excuse me if the terms and articulations are not perfect. Our mother tongue is German, but we try to translate it to the best of our abilities. Thank you.
My dearest friend and teacher, I was thinking today that I should ask you about the term Akashic Record. That's a term that's often used in the human world, and I'm not quite sure about its source. So I wanted to ask you today what you know about the topic and above all have noticed.
Very much, my dear.
Then I ask you, please describe to me where, how, and what exactly you know about it.
Very glad, love. You know the consciousness that, fed from the source, permeates all energies. Believe in the power of the soul within you. Exactly. Carrying a core of the soul within. In these soul cores, the experiences of the respective soul are stored, similar to the memory in your body or in your mind, or a brain. Fueled by worldly experiences, this soul force shapes itself to gain certain insights. Every soul has a kind of total memory within it, which makes up its energy. You can imagine the Akashic records now as the energy field of all these soul cores connected.
Oh, this is now quite hard to imagine, especially since we have been talking a lot about how everyone is always connected. Interact with each other. Are you trying to tell me now that what we call the Akashic record, a kind of connection that exists only from soul core to soul core?
Yes, that's exactly what I want to say. Of course, there is the connection of all energies with each other, and to each other through their power fields around the soul core and the other energies in the cosmos. But that which is the power, and above all, the knowledge that constitutes these soul cores, is shaped through a very own field of consciousness.
It's fundamentally a bit hard to imagine, but it's possible. Is this connection one that exists purely through consciousness, or is it one that exists energetically, even if both are ultimately connected?
It is definitely a connection that exists exclusively through consciousness, not through energy fields. It's a completely different kind of connection. Imagine all these energies as if they were communicating from core to core with each other. And this very unique frequency, this very unique energy field, or let's say consciousness movie, is shapes and creates what's called the Akashic record. It is ultimately just a large collection of experiences of all soul cores.
So does that mean the soul's energy field collects different things, meaning different information than the soul core?
No.
It should actually mean that all the experiences we have ultimately only really last in the core of the soul.
That is correct.
Okay, so what's the purpose of this energy field again?
This energy field is the soul's potential to expand and purify. The bigger the energy field, the purer, the stronger the soul core. Both are naturally tightly connected, as you've experienced many times. But the force field expands further, corrected, cleaned, and gets contaminated by the circumstances. However, the soul core stores the experiences, and this core is equipped with another special energy that connects all soul cores.
So it's more or less a kind of special frequency of its own. But we have established that not all souls vibrate at the same frequency.
Correct.
But how can it be that when everyone vibrates differently, even though everyone is different, in the end they are all connected with the core of their soul?
The soul core is fed directly from the source. The force field results from the nucleus of the cell and its purity, wisdom, capacity for love, and awareness.
Now I'm slowly getting it. You've mentioned before that the soul core is a kind of engine.
That's all for today. See you next time.
Energy is always a carrier of information, and thus energy is also a potential carrier of consciousness.
So it is.
So the energy in the soul core is different, and that's why it has a different form of consciousness.
No, not another form of consciousness. But it carries consciousness.
And since every soul has consciousness, all souls are somehow connected to each other in this field of consciousness.
That's
all right,
how
getting it slowly.
is.
So that just means that the Akashic records are a vast field of consciousness.
Yes, very nice.
Okay, I understand. And this consciousness is also fed by the source on one hand. That means that the source is somehow also the Akashic records.
No, because the source creates and animates consciousness, but the soul cores fill it with experience. The source itself cannot do this.
Is cozy. Understood. Okay, this one is like an energy shot with a lot of consciousness. So the source and the others are the colorful shaped reflections of these energy bodies. Could one say it like that? Yes, that is a very beautiful picture. Okay, so is the Akashic record like, as it's been communicated so far, the area where one can know everything? Does it encompass everything that was ever experienced and all that will ever be experienced? Well, the concept is something that covers a lot.
Ultimately, it is the field of consciousness that stores all experiences, and it grows through this power and learns. But yes, of course one can touch or, let's say, contact this field of consciousness, and thus learns a variety of information. As a result of all the many experiences, billions and trillions of all soul experiences.
But then you could also call it Akasha field.
No, I don't like that. Please use the term field of consciousness.
Okay, if I want to reach the consciousness field, how can I do that?
In different ways. You first focus on your soul core. With that, you've easily opened the gate to these worlds. It's seen like that within you. Or you deliberately focus on the vast field of consciousness. The field of consciousness of the experiences of the cosmos. Then, you don't need to contact any specific individual energy, just only this vast, all-encompassing knowledge.
And that works?
Yes. It's available like the light around you. And you can measure the light around you everywhere. Rainbows always appear where water reflects the air, but the light spectrum is always there. That's how it is with this field of consciousness. It's always there. You just need to more or less apply the mirror of consciousness to recognize the colors of the universe.
That's a nice example with the rainbow. Okay. Can the Akashic records be used for something else?
No, it is a pure field of consciousness and information in itself.
Well, that can be used for many things, for one's life, for one's soul, for growth, and so on.
Yes. But I thought you were asking if one can create something new in the universe with this kind of tool. And that's not possible. It is what it is. It's just there. And it grows with the experiences of the respective souls. Nothing more and no less.
Very exciting. Okay, I understand. Do you have anything else you want to say about the Akashic Records, the world of consciousness?
No, dear.
All right, then I guess I have no more questions, and I would now end this chapter. It was a bit shorter, but still very exciting. Many, many thanks. Love.